Hello, this is Rebekah Ricks. I'm here at the Homeschool Connection, and I'm on our show, The Brew. And a brew is a mixture of people, events, or things that come together to form a more potent whole. And I'm here today to try to help your whole be a whole lot better. So we're going to be talking a little bit about, before we start, I am drinking my coffee since it's The Brew. And if you haven't tried it yet, if you're a coffee drinker, the Reese's creamer is really, really good. There's Reese's peanut butter creamer now, and it's like coffee in a chocolate peanut butter cup. It's really yummy, so I would really encourage you to try it. But anyway, I'm taking it. It's good. Just wanted to make sure. Today we're going to talk about why can't I teach my child when someone else can? And I hear this a ton. I really do. A lot of people ask me, come to me and say, I don't know, I can't teach it, we don't relate, they're not getting it when I'm teaching it. So when you hear that, first of all, I just want to say you're not alone. You're not the only person that has that problem. I've heard a lot of people do it. And you know what? When I was looking on the internet, there wasn't a lot of articles or things on this that people talk about how to help their child or how to teach your child when someone else can. There wasn't a lot on there. But first thing I wanted to let you know that, you're not alone. There's a lot of people that feel that way. And the second thing is, also remember not everything your child needs to know is academic. There's a lot of things that you can teach your child. Now, I tell people this a lot. Not everyone is a teacher. Okay? That's not everyone's gift. I really, truly feel like God calls people to be a teacher. It's a calling. If God has called you to do that, He really helps you and gives you the words to say and what to do. But there's a lot of people who speak Spanish. But all those people that speak Spanish can't teach Spanish. There's a lot of people that know math, and not everybody that knows math can teach math. All right, so it's the same thing with us. Not everybody can teach academically. It's not everyone's gift. And there are some things you can teach academic. So there's a lot of things that I learned from my parents that weren't necessarily academic. Something really important is character skills. There's a lot of things that you can teach your child to help them character-wise. The character that your child has comes from you. So maybe you're not an academic teacher, but there's lots of things you can teach them. So my steps, I was thinking, well, how can people at home help their child? Well, you can send them someplace to get tutoring or have someone else teach them. Teaching, I hate to be like teaching's my thing, but I love to teach. I enjoy teaching. I pretty much had a midlife crisis at one time in my life and thought, man, I'm not really good at anything. I'm not very fast. I'm not very smart. I'm not very anything. But you know what? I realized, oh man, I enjoy teaching. I love it. It's something that I'm good at. It's something that I enjoy doing. So take your enjoyment and give that to your child. If you're not a math teacher, and there's a lot of people who don't teach math. I'm like one of those rare percentages that I love teaching algebra. I really, really do. I enjoy teaching Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. I enjoy seeing that light come on. But there's a lot of people that algebra isn't their thing. So sometimes when you're trying to teach a child something that's not your thing, or something that you already struggle with, or that you don't really like, your child can pick up on that. So don't get discouraged with it if it's something that you don't really enjoy or love. That's one thing. Pick the subjects that you really enjoy and invest in that. I hear a lot of people talking about how they study together with history or science, or they learn something new with their child in history or science. And that's a real easy way to do that. Another thing is really you are the only person that knows your child the best. You really, really, really do know your child the best. I mean, I only have a 3-month-old and I can tell which cry is a I want to be picked up cry versus the I'm starving cry. So you know your child better than anybody else. Okay, you know what things that they enjoy and don't enjoy, and you know what is fun or hard for them. So when you have something that is hard, something that is not easy for that child, and you're trying to teach that child at home, and maybe it's not easy for you either, then you sometimes have to go and think outside the box. Right now, there are 2 million different curriculums, tons of different curriculums that help you think outside the box. There's, I was just talking to someone earlier, we were talking about reading. There's all kinds of Orton Gillingham reading. Barton reading is an outside the box reading. It's got hands-on. Times Tales is something that I love. It's an outside the box way to teach multiplication. What is outside the box? When I teach factoring in algebra, which is one of the hardest things in algebra, I make up this really silly story, and every class it's a little bit different, and I talk about the numbers, and I have some story that I come up with for every single thing that I teach in algebra. But really think outside the box when you're working with your kids. Someone just asked me, what's Times Tales? It's a I don't know how to explain what Times Tales is. Google it. It's a program that teaches you your multiplication tables by pictures and stories. It's a story that they kind of memorize, and through the story you learn your multiplication tables. It's really, really good if you have a child that struggles with multiplication at all. And I've used it for older children too. But it's one of my favorite things ever to use. So use something outside the box. If it's something you're really, really, really struggling with, or that child is struggling with, try to think outside the box. And the second thing I was thinking, sometimes, especially since this is a Facebook social media atmosphere, you only see the good on Facebook or Instagram. Nobody posts hot mess pictures. Well, some people do, but I don't want to post my hot mess pictures. I don't want to post a picture of my, especially not my laundry room right now, where the dryer is heaped with clothes that need to be put up. Okay, no one posts their hot mess pictures. So just because you are struggling doesn't mean somebody else is, and it's okay to ask for help. Sometimes we don't want to ask for help. So if your child goes to school all day and you just struggle with helping them with homework because it's like pulling teeth, and it's sucking their will to live and it's sucking your will to live, it's okay to ask for help. We have here in Winter Haven, we do lots of tutoring, one-on-one tutoring. So maybe you are someplace where you're not near and there isn't a tutoring facility nearby, or maybe you just can't afford to send your child to tutoring because it is expensive. Then why don't you, there's such a thing as co-oping or trade out. I like math, but science isn't my thing. So I would need to find someone who was really enjoyed science and trade out. Maybe that person could help my child. Maybe I can help with English and that child can help with, or that mom can help with math. And you can help their child, vice versa. Sometimes maybe it's okay to ask for help or pair up with someone that you can kind of do a trade out with too. And the other thing I was thinking is really, if you're in school all day, and then we have two different scenarios here. Maybe you're homeschooling and you're having a hard time teaching your child, or maybe even a mom they've gone to school all day, they come home, you have to sit down and do homework, and then that sucks your will to live too because they've just been in school all day and they've had no break, and then you have to come home and do homework. So another big thing I think that really, really helps teaching your child is bring in, I hate to say more fun, but more fun. Sometimes you just need a day where you relax and you take a break. We all need days to recharge, and kids are exactly like that. I'm a big, big proponent of, a lot of people like to do year-round schooling, but I think that everybody needs a break. You as a mom need a break from school. Kids need a school. We all need a time to recharge our batteries. And so if you're going through a time where you're having a really hard time teaching your child, somebody else can, but I can't, then sometimes you need to step back and redo that relationship with that child. Get back in and do the fun things that child enjoys, and redo it. Because so many times, I know I am, go, get this done, schedule. We got to stay on track because if we don't, we're not going to finish our book. And in panic mode, okay? But sometimes we do need to step back and take a break and rebuild that relationship with the child to say, okay, let's do something fun together, so that everything you do is not some sort of work that nobody wants to do. So again, we're talking about, how can I teach my child? Why can't I teach my child when someone else can? Well, really, I guess my in thoughts would be, not everything a child needs to know is academic. you are teaching your child lots and lots of skills, life skills, character skills, all kinds of different things that you teach your child that's not necessarily academic. The second thing is, if you have to continue teaching your child, then think outside the box. You know your child better than anyone else. You know what things are going to work. If I have a class that's doing fractions and they're having a hard time with it, and I know that class loves Transformers because we talk about Transformers all the time, or they talk about Star Wars, I will make something up. Something comes to me about Star Wars or Transformers. And you know what? That doesn't just happen. I pray about it, and somehow the Lord sometimes brings these crazy ideas to me to help teach those things. So, think outside the box. And the last thing is, ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. There are lots of people out there that want to help, that are willing to help, that can help you in ways that you can't. So hopefully that was a little bit of a help for it. I didn't really address why I can't teach my child. I think the main reason why sometimes is we get, for me anyway, my why is because I want to get everything done. And I'm a little intense about schooling. I get really intense about it because I want to make sure I'm doing it right. And it's really serious. So sometimes even bringing a little bit more fun into it is going to help you in a lot. So hopefully that was a little bit of help. We'll be back on Friday morning with our extra shot of espresso, our devotional time. And don't forget, I'm here at the Homeschool Connection, where our goal is to connect home and school. But don't forget, you're not alone and you're not the only one out there. And we're here to help.